What's poppin'? Welcome back to the 21&Up podcast. This is Yenny Singh, and let's just dive into it. So right now, I'm basically just editing the what the opening card's gonna be when you guys are watching the podcast or listening to the podcast, because this is no visual. And I was originally gonna call the podcast Dirty Visual because that's something else I'm working on, but I decided to save that for something else. And yeah, we're just gonna get into this. So I was just thinking, I was on Twitter all day today and Joe Budden was spazzing and I was really curious what everybody's take on it would be. And to be honest, I don't really care about anybody else's take because I'm like a huge Joe Budden stan. Like, I really respect his opinion and I respect his approach to things, and I like how he's like no nonsense with his opinion. Like, if he feels something, he's gonna say it and he's gonna do it. So when I saw that Joe Budden parted ways with Everyday Struggle, I was surprised, and also I wasn't that surprised because which is weird. I wasn't that surprised, but when I saw he parted ways with Everyday Struggle, I was like, oh nah, the show's gonna tank. And I know a lot of people watch the show for academics, but I feel like Joe Budden and academics dynamic together is like out of this world. And what's the point? Like, you don't want to just watch academics, even if you are an academics fan. Like, you can be a fan of somebody and they're boring the shit out of you. And that's nothing against academics. It's just the show is Joe Budden and DJ Academics. But yeah, I was just thinking that, and like I was saying earlier, I was on Twitter and he talks about how he's a creative and creatives never stop, no matter what cap people try to put on them. And I thought that was really interesting because there's definitely things that I want to do or that I've always wanted to do, and I let other people's opinions on my capability of being able to accomplish those things stop me from doing it. So I didn't do it. And also it doesn't make sense that sorry, I got a little sidetracked, but it doesn't make sense that Everyday Struggle would want to continue on without Joe Budden. Clearly they don't, but it doesn't make sense that they wouldn't try harder to keep him. And I don't know what they did or didn't do, but I don't know. It's just not a fight that I would give up. But yeah. So what's poppin', you guys? This is actually the second time I did this podcast for today. I was gonna do it while I was walking, and then because I thought that could be cool, like a podcast when I'm walking home every day from whatever I'm doing. But you get distracted, or at least I get distracted. I need to work on my attention span because like I was like looking left and right. I picked up a phone call in the middle of the fucking podcast, and I was on the phone for like 30 minutes. And it was just all over the place. So then when I got back home, I decided, I was like, all right, I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to add an extra 15 minutes to the podcast and just talk some bullshit. And it was just so trash. But now I'm like revived and I'm ready to go. It's mad late. So after I finish this podcast, I'm going to put it straight on my laptop, edit it, upload it, boom, done. And then I'm going to go to bed and then wake up and go about my day tomorrow. But when I first started doing the podcast the second time, I was going through my files and I saw these like songs that I was attempting to make last week or so, and they're pretty fucking fire. And what's crazy is like anytime I tell anybody I've been interested in making music, and I've been interested in if anybody knows me, I've been interested. Ugh, crazy. Boom. Anyways, if anybody knows me, they knows I've been interested in like making music since I was very, very little, and people know that like I'm an artist. I'm really into fashion, and all that. So like this is just straight up my lane. But everybody's doubted my music abilities. They're like, "Oh, you can't sing. You can't rap." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine. That's cool. That's what you think." But you know how have you ever like had a talent or not even a talent? Has there ever been something that you really want to do and you're really passionate about it, and when you're alone and you just dive into it, it just like flows effortlessly and seamlessly? That's exactly how I feel about music. And like I can write some really dope shit, but I don't know. There's clearly some like disconnect between how I feel about it and how I think other people are going to feel about it, and I decided that I'm just going to throw that shit right out the window. Because I'm a strong believer in decide who you want to be and be that, and I decided to follow that practice starting today. So I decided I wanted to be like fearless and independent and just do me. Like if I want to be like just do me. So there's also something that I sent a text message today, and when I send a risky text message, like I'm like too like scared to like check my phone, so like I'll flip my phone over and I won't even look at my phone, or I'll just like avoid the texting app completely. But like today I sent a text message and I had began to do that, and then I was like, nah, fuck that. Like I'm about to be fearless. So text message popped in, I opened it, and it was just that simple and it was that seamless. Like if you just decide you want to be something and you just decide you want to do something, it's that simple to just do it. So that's what I did, and I'm very happy about that. Um, but back to Joe Budden, and and the only reason I'm talking about Joe Budden so much right now is because he was like a huge topic today, for me at least, and I'm like, and I'm an avid watcher of his podcast. I watch it every single fucking week, and that shit is bomb as hell. I prefer to watch the visual podcast just because like he's just so funny to me that like I want to watch the faces he makes at like Rory and Mal. Like I just want to watch it. But I'm definitely gonna listen to it tomorrow first. I usually don't like to listen to it before I watch it because it it takes something from it. I mean, clearly because you're watching it 2 days in a row, but 9 out of 10 I'll watch it 2 days in a row regardless. But yeah, I'm really interested in seeing what he has to say. And Rory was talking about how they should do a 4-hour episode, and I'm just all the way with the shits. Like I really want to see what it's heading for, but we will see. Um what else? Wait, whoa. My bad. I got this email and it was looking crazy. Oh, let me tell you guys something. So there was this rapper that I had hit up. Actually, I hit up 2 rappers recently, and they both responded. And one of the rappers, I was basically because I wanted to interview them. So the first rapper I hit up, I was like, yo, and these are all like they're underground, but like they have clout. So I was basically to the first one. I was like, yo, like your music's mad dope, and like I'd love to interview you. I remember when I saw you at so and so's concert, like the crowd was so dead, and then you came out and you like turned it the fuck up, like it was so lit. And he was like, oh, thank you, I appreciate it. So then I was like, if you're down for an interview or like the next time you're in New York, here's my number and we can link and I can interview. And then he had the nerve to and low key it's my fault because I was talking to somebody afterwards and they were like, why'd you give him your number? Like, but regardless, I don't think it's my fault. After I sent him that, he was like no problem, beautiful, and then he sent me like hard eyes and kissy faces and then like 3 of my pictures, and I'm like, alright, bro. But then the second guy, I emailed him, and I really wanted to interview him because like I'm not a fan, but like I follow him, so like I follow like what like his work and like what he does, but like not consistently, but like casually or whatever. So I emailed him and he didn't respond, and I was having such a bad day. I was having such a bad day one day, and just mad crazy shit was happening, and I went up to a studio in Connecticut with my sister, and we're just in the studio and we're chilling. And then something tells me to check my email, so I checked the email, and he emailed me back. So like I'm geeked out. My bad. So I'm geeked out, and he's like, yeah, I'm definitely interested. Tell me more about it. So then I told him more about it, and he was like, text me. So I texted him, and then and then we're like conversing for a little bit, and bro drinks buku lean. So I'm thinking like, okay, so maybe the lean is fucking with his head, because we're texting. In the middle of the text message, he was like, yo, but who's this? So I'm like, alright. I tell him who I am again. He was like, who's this interview for? And in my head, I'm like, bro, you're not that poppin'. Like, who else? You're interviewing me. But like, and not you're interviewing me, but I'm interviewing you. And he was like, all right, tell me more about it. And I'm like, did I not just have this whole conversation with him? But I really wasn't stressing it, because I really wanted to interview him, because although like his he doesn't have a lot of music out, I was more interviewing him for his like fashion, but I approached him for his music, because I thought his fashion was dope, but I wanted to like interview him about like what influenced his style. And he's like homies with a big rapper. So I wanted to so basically I wanted to interview him about like what it's been like chilling with the rapper, from when he was like a regular schmegular to being like huge and like widely known. And we're just going back and forth, blah blah blah. And he's just like not remembering anything from what we're saying, and it's just it was just really crazy. So I finally like asked him like, when would you be free to do the interview? And he just like never responded. So after like just like a whole long thread, he doesn't respond, and I'm just like, all right, like can't cry over spilt milk. I just have to like do something else. So that's what I'm doing. And what I'm really excited for is seeing how things in my life progress, because I'm not holding myself back anymore. I feel like I've been holding myself back, and I feel like anybody who's not doing what they need to do, or they're not successful, I feel like they're holding themselves back. And people don't really self-evaluate. They think about what's going on outside of them, and that's just totally wrong. So if I wasn't holding myself back, I would definitely be exactly where I needed to be, or where I wanted to be. So that's exactly what I'm not going to do anymore. I'm not holding myself back. I'm just going to go for anything and everything I want. Yeah, and I'm just ready, and I'm with the shit. So I want to see what's coming. Oh, speaking of up and coming rappers, there's this YouTuber named Pontiac Made DDG, and I've been watching him for like a year and some change now. And he was just like a regular guy on YouTube, and then you saw his confidence build up, and you saw him really believe in himself. And this man is a rapper now, and he just did his first sold out show, and I just think that's so crazy. And like I really commend him for that. Like it really shows that if you want something, you go for it and you get it. And that's just that simple. If you want it, you go get it, and it's there for you. So that's just the tip I'm on, and I'm excited. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of things that I wanted to do, and I probably won't tell you guys right now what the next thing that's coming up is gonna be, but I'll definitely tell you. Today is Wednesday. 3:30 a.m. That's wild. But I'll definitely tell you probably sometime next week or maybe even later this week. I haven't decided if I'm doing the podcast on the weekends though. Probably not. But I'll definitely tell you guys in between those times what I have coming, and I think you guys will really fuck with it. Yeah. This is gonna be, I'm gonna try to make this like an everyday podcast. I'm just gonna like talk through for about like 10 to 20 minutes, no more than 20 minutes, and I'm gonna post it, and I hope you guys start fucking with it, and I hope it gets crazy views, and it's the next big thing, cause that's just what I want. I don't know. Yeah, but I think I'm about to wrap up this podcast. I gave you guys some shit to sit on. Probably tomorrow or the day after, I'll tell you guys some more about me. And you guys will definitely learn more about me as the podcast goes on. You'll know what my personality is like. You'll see my views on things, and it's just gonna, I just have high hopes. I know you guys are gonna fuck with this crazy. But this has been the 21&Up podcast with Yenny Singh. And guess what? I'm not even gonna lie to you. The screen was locked, so I had to I was trying to end it, but it was taking a little minute. So, but that's it. This has been Yenny Singh with the wow. How am I just gonna fuck up my ending like that twice in a row? The first time I couldn't unlock the screen, forgot the password. Second time, I stumbled on my words. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna keep it real in this podcast. I'm not editing shit out. But if the only thing I'm editing is if there's like long silence, or if if I say a name that I'm not supposed to say, or just if I'm dropping any exclusives that aren't ready to be dropped yet. These are the only reasons that I would edit something out. But for the most part, you guys are gonna get a clean ass unedited podcast. And I hope you guys really fuck with it. And yeah, cause I tried to end it again, but the screen was locked. Alright. But yeah, I hope you guys really fuck with it. You guys are gonna see the bumps that I have. Like maybe one day they'll be like yelling in the background. Hopefully not. Sorry. Yeah, but we'll see. I think let me just end this shit. This has been the 21&Up podcast with Yenny Singh.